Dude, fuck this Google stuff, man. The verification for an app script, dude, I get they're trying to be secure, but oh my Lord, what a headache. Just everything that I'm doing it's just not working. I'm using AI, I'm using all these support forms, I'm doing everything I can, and I love that Google doesn't have a contact page where I can say, hey, I need some fucking help. They don't have that. Shit ton of forms that are just ugly looking, they don't make sense, all good. Oh, dude, it's just so annoying. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. So I texted Brian. I said, hey, dude, here's what's going on. Here's a workaround I thought of. It's not going to be as fancy, but it'll do for now. It'll take me some time to make that, but it's better than nothing. He said, yeah, let's do the workaround. And then he said, but within the next 30 days, let's get that other thing working so that we have something that's truly unique to us. So when I heard that, I immediately thought, dude, I'm done. I'm done working on this this modal thing because for one, I didn't even make the goddamn spreadsheet, and so it's not even my work, and so I don't like that to begin with because I'm putting my name on this whole thing, saying that I did it because I actually made Loom videos and I said, hey, what's going on, guys? So I actually didn't make these, but I know how to use them, blah blah blah. And he said, oh no, you can't say that. It removes the authority from you, so you can't be saying that. And I was like, oh my fuck, dude, well, I didn't make it, so there's no authority, but whatever. So he said he wants something true and unique to them. And so I thought, dude, just let me make you a fucking website that does all this shit for you. I'll figure it out. And he said, within the next 30 days. So I know it's loud. He said within the next 30 days. And so my thought was I can absolutely make this spreadsheet into a website in the next 30 days. No problem. Okay, also I want to document this live. My Bluetooth is not on my phone. So this should not even interact with my phone. My car should not interact. Okay, it did live right there. However, it had nothing to do with Bluetooth and everything to do with the fact that I put my phone on a MagSafe charger and it makes that little sound. And I think because it's got to make that sound, it stops the stops the recording because it's got to make a sound. It's just stupid. But see, if I had my own phone operating system, I'd make that not a thing because that's some more shit. Anyway, so when Brian says, yeah, in the next 30 days make this, I'm like, dude, I could absolutely make this other thing in 30 days, 100%. And in my head, I just see it being a very simple thing because it's just it's just a form. You input the data, and then the data goes to a spreadsheet-like interface, and that would be it. That's it. And then there'd be a whole bunch of calculations and data and stuff like that. That's just math. As far as coding that, I'm sure. Well, let's be honest. As far as coding that, I don't know shit. But what do you call it? Coding it, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can use AI and that's no problem. But as far as actually getting the numbers, I do know how to do that because that's math, percentages and division, multiplication, all that stuff. So I can absolutely do that. I just have to have AI help me code shit. So all that to say, I think it would be a simple project. The only thing that would be a bitch would be to host the whole thing and then encrypt it so that people's username and passwords are safe and secure, because I looked into that. That's a legal thing. I can't just be having whoever log into whatever. I got to have a privacy policy, I got to have a terms of service. So nothing new there, but I won't have to go through Google. It'll be my own thing. And I think it's one of those things where I don't have to verify through anybody or do anything through any company. It's just if something happens and my shit's not in place, that's when it gets legal and I can get fucked. So I'm not really worried about that because I'm not gathering any data. I guess a username and password, but as long as I encrypt that, which I'm sure I can figure that out really quickly. I just ran all the project idea through ChatGPT, and it said that 2 to 6 weeks it would take. I don't know how long it thinks I'm working per day. I don't know, but I'm sure that I could do a lot in 2 to 6 weeks. Not to mention if I get the resignation, oh boy. yeah, so per his request, something unique to them, I was like, oh, well, this is perfect then, because this is going to be just for you guys. But anyway, that's that. So I've been working on that for the first 2 hours of the morning today, and I was getting so angry, just so frustrated, because no matter what I did, it was like, your URL is unresponsive. And I'm like, dude, what? No, it's not. I'm going to it right now. It works. It's fine. And then I look up some information, I fill out the information, I resubmit, re-verify. 10 minutes go by. Sorry, your URL is unresponsive. I'm like, what does that even mean? And when you click on the button of how to fix this issue, it just says, hey, make sure you type it in correctly. That's what the fucking help is. I'm not even kidding. So that's annoying, bro. It's literally like if I called and said, dude, every single light in my house is just won't turn on. It's broken. Something's going on. And then the electrician says, hey man, best I can do here, it's a foolproof method. You do this, it'll work. You turn it on, turn it off, turn it off, and turn it on again. Imagine that's the help that they give you. You'd be like, yeah, fucking course I did that, bro. It's still not working. Next. And then they say, sorry, dude, no one to tell you. That's what I feel like, and I'm getting so frustrated, dude. It is so, oh my Lord. And what adds to the frustration is that we don't even need to do this. It works. You just have to say, oh yeah, go, click, yes, agree. That's it, dude. But he doesn't want to do that. It's all good. I understand and I respect it. However, for me, frustrating as hawk. So anyway, I'm about to get a haircut again because I'm trying to look fresh. I got some family photos today, some genealogy photos. So I'm about to be in these history books for years to come. So I gotta look nice. So, well, I want to look nice. Whether or not they do me well today, that's a different story, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm pulling up here soon. Oh, no, I'm going to say this because I got some time. By the way, I work on those. Not for long, though. But I will say, with sports clips, because that's where I've been going, because it's just local and it's quick, I will join the lineup online. That's what it's called. Join the lineup. And that puts me on the waiting list. It's not a reservation, but it puts me on the waiting list. I clicked it, 10 minutes ago, and it said 24-minute wait. And I was like, oh, cool. And so I was just hanging out. And then the next thing I know, it says, you're next up. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened to 24 minutes? That was maybe 3 minutes. Now I'm next up, not even at the place. I don't like that, dude. If you're going to say 24 minutes, then it needs to be 24 minutes. You know what I mean? But, anyway, guys, that's all I got for right now. I'm sure I'll be back later, and if I'm not back later, then this is another shorty episode. Yeah, that's what's going on today. Got family photos, family dinner for my grandma and grandpa's 50th wedding anniversary. Unbelievable. So anyway, love you guys. Peace.
Bro, I made it to the haircut place, and I have to wait. Why would they tell me that I'm next up if I have to wait? Sick.
All right, what's up? Episode, actually it's the same episode as earlier. Yeah, that's right. That's right, because I talked about shit. Well, anyway, it's episode 562 still. It's right now it's 12:13 a.m. Same day, so it's still Saturday. Well, I mean, it's technically Sunday, but fuck all that, it's Saturday. I'm now on my way home. We did a 50th anniversary thing for my grandparents. 50th wedding anniversary dinner and photos and all that stuff. And it was a lot of fun. Got to see my entire family. And, yeah. But I'm now leaving home from that whole function, being with everybody. And I really just want to go home and go to bed. So, I haven't finished recording the show, so here we are. And that's what I'm going to do. So, one thing... Well, actually, a lot of cool things happened tonight. A lot of people asked about, a lot of family members, should specify, asked about what I'm doing, because was kind of like everybody was in one spot. So when one person said, hey, so you're quitting your job, what are you doing? Other person was like, oh, you're quitting your job. And then so I kind of gave the spiel to almost 5 different people about what I'm doing. And it
was cool. I got a lot of different feedback and different stances and opinions from people, and what I should focus on, what I should do, all this stuff. And it was cool. It was very refreshing, kind of sharing what you are trying to work for or work toward, and people kind of give you just like their 2 cents and stuff like that. So one instance in particular, family member approached me and said, "Hey, you still on track for your millionaire goals?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'm more on track now." And he's like, "Yeah, I got this going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm on track for this. This should go well, this market, blah, blah, blah." And I think I just struggle with these types of conversations because my beliefs are so very different from the average person. So the average person wants to play it right with stocks and retirement, and they want to invest everything the right way, get the highest percentages. They want their credit score to be the highest. They want to make sure that they're doing everything right so that they get a big grand, $10 million return for retirement or whatever. If you're going into crypto, if you're going into real estate, it's a different thing, but that's what I would say the average person is striving for, and they want to retire as soon as they can. I think that's the biggest one. I don't want to retire. I don't want to rid myself of purpose. I don't want to have nothing going on all day because I don't have to work. I want to work. I want to do stuff that I want to do. I want to make money doing it. I want to make impact. I want to do all that. And so as a result of not wanting to stop working, that whole retirement playbook goes out the window, because if that's one path of life, maximum retirement and early retirement, but I don't want anything to do with that, which playbook do I follow? If that's like I have to get a whole different playbook. So I struggle with these conversations because, for one, so if I were to say, yeah, man, I don't really believe in the, traditional retirement and saving for all this and, having a steady job and having a highest credit score and having so much in savings, because I truthfully believe in my soul that I'm going to have so much abundance financially that it's not going to matter at all what my credit score is or what my retirement or my savings looks like, because I'll be fine. And I don't know how to communicate that in a way that's not, wow, he's so full of himself. Wow, why do you believe that? Because right now I have no reason to believe that. I can only, the only thing that I guess extends that belief is that I know me, and I know I'm not going to quit. And I know that I'm too stubborn to, I guess, ever let my goals not be accomplished. I might pivot on them like we just did, but that was fucking awesome. I mean, it was a great decision that I made, because I don't like saying that I'm happier, because happiness is fleeting. Is that the right word? Fleeting. It's kind of like eating food. If you're hungry, you satisfy that hunger by eating food. But that doesn't mean you're satiated forever. You're gonna have to eat again. The more I think about happiness, it's the same thing. Like, you don't achieve happiness. You can be happy. To say that you want to be happy, like that's your goal is happiness, means that you're not there, which means you're not happy. So like, are you not happy, or are you just like, I don't know, just a whole different. To say that your goal is to have something or to do something, it means that you currently do not possess that. So if people say they want to be rich, okay, well, you say that you want to be rich, you're not rich then. Okay, so whatever your current situation is, you're not rich. If you want to be happy, whatever is going on right now in your life is making you not happy, or you're not achieving that status of happy, whatever that is for you. So anyway, yeah, that's what I was saying. So I wouldn't say that I'm happier per se. I would say I'm just much more excited to work on what I'm working on, because I'm using so much more brain power to think of something and try to create it and build it into, so I talked about it the other episode. Like it's like a win-win-win-win downstream for me. So for someone to, especially family, to come up and say, how's your 10 million or your 10-year millionaire plan, whatever, going? And for me to say, great, I'm doing some self-education, and I'm going to make some badass stuff later on, and I'm not investing shit. Took all my money out of my retirement. My coworker actually the other day, he was like, hey man, so you know how to change your Roth IRA percent or whatever the fuck it was? And I'm like, no, I have no idea. He's like, oh, okay. He asked me another question. I'm like, oh, I don't put anything into that. There's zero money goes into my thrift savings account. Zero money goes into any kind of retirement plan other than what the main kind of default one is, which is FERS for me, whatever that is, federal, I don't know, erection return state, I don't know, some bullshit with retirement that I get no control over until I quit, which I think is so fucked. It's my money. Give it back to me if I want it. So whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I don't put anything into anything anymore. And my coworker's like, oh, wow. Well, I would highly recommend you do, man. And I get it. I just don't know how to communicate, hey dude, I'm not gonna need it, without sounding like a fucking prick, So it's, and I think that sucks, because I feel like I have to kind of, I don't know, quiet myself down. Excuse me. Not quiet myself down. I just have to kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm trying to say. Suppress. There we go. I have to suppress my ambition to match. I don't know. I don't want to seem like a dick. And it's not that I don't want to seem like a dick. It's that I don't want to have to deal with the things that come later after being, people thinking I'm a dick, like I'm some kind of self-centered, arrogant asshole. I just don't want to deal with the things that are downstream of that. And that's pretty much it. Like if somebody thinks I'm an asshole right then and there, I think that's fine. I think I'm actually okay with that. But for them to then talk to other people and say, oh, he don't ask this, don't say this, he's a dick, he blah, 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 he believes this, wow, what a dick. And then they start spreading rumors and shit, and then you have to deal with that. I don't like that. But that's a whole different thing. But anyway. Sorry, guys. I'm tired as fuck. I was supposed to go to bed, 4 hours ago. But I don't work tomorrow, so that's good. Didn't have caffeine today, so tomorrow's caffeine. I'm doing caffeine every other day, and I think it's fine. It's working, meaning I'm able to have my caffeine, and I feel it, pretty potently every time. But I'm not getting the headaches or anything like that from the caffeine withdrawal, so that's good. But anyway, I'm tired of shit. So anyway, having that conversation, it was just like, yeah, I'm on track for my goals, I would say, because I'm learning and I'm making the best decisions. I think that I have a fair amount of self-awareness, which is going to be very important for me. But I don't know. I like having these conversations because it reminds me that I need to keep my foot on the gas, because it's so easy to take your foot off the gas and just kind of cruise, and I guess I'm just trying to find that line between working however many hours or getting as much done as I can, and then feeling okay with that enough to where I can actually, shut my laptop and be okay with me fucking off for the rest of the evening. I only reach that sometimes, and it's when I work so hard and I'm so productive all day. That's the only time that happens. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is these conversations, they're very beneficial. Even if the conversation itself does not go anywhere, it's just the fact that the conversation was had and the thoughts that it created in my head. I think that's why it's important to talk to people in that regard. Going back to what I was just saying, I just think that's why I struggle with a lot of conversations, because it's like, I don't really give a fuck about a credit score. It's just not going to matter. I don't want to own a home right now. I don't know if I really want to. I just don't want to have to spend all that time doing shit that I don't want to do just because I have to, like mowing the lawn, doing all that shit. If something breaks, I got to fix it. Like, I would rather just rent and have somebody fix it for me. And then people are like, oh, well, you got to buy a house because it's, it's your biggest investment. It's like, you want me to go into debt $3, $4, $5, $600,000 so that I can be forced to mow my own grass? Like, it's going to take me 30 years to pay that loan off. Is that going to be worth it? I just don't see it that way. I would rather just have, I don't know, man, it's a whole different thing. And I don't know. I mean, you could say that it's because I'm thinking for myself, because that's what they teach you. Go to school, get a job, buy a house, American dream, white picket fence, all that shit. But it's like, why? If I don't want the typical life, and in order to get the typical life, you follow the typical playbook, then I'm going to have to follow a completely different playbook. Which one do I follow? Oh, it's the one that nobody talks about, the one that everybody shits on, the one that nobody knows anything about, the one that it just so happens when you follow it to the T, you're going to have a shit ton of money, a shit ton of success, family's going to be well off, you're going to be well off, you're going to be happy, you're going to be fulfilled, you're going to have some really cool shit. But don't follow that playbook. That's the shitty one, and you're an asshole if you do. It's just interesting stuff, dude. Anyway, so as far as projects, let's go ahead and segue here. So as far as other projects go, from what I'm working on with Brian and Mina, Mina's on pause because it hasn't started, waiting for an email. Brian is, I'm pretty sure I talked about that workaround. I don't know if I did or not, so I'm going to say it again. So I sent Brian a voice message because I can't get this fucking Google verification thing to work. So I said, hey man, it's not working. I had to buy my own website, buy my own domain name, my own web hosting to put the privacy policy and the terms of service on my website as per the request of the Google verification, and it's still not working. So I thought of a workaround. It's not going to be as fancy, but it'll still work. And he said, yeah, let's just go around, let's just follow through with the work. I did talk about this, I know I did. But he said, yeah, let's just go with the workaround, and then in the next 30 days, let's get that other one working because I want something that's unique to us. And so, I talked about this earlier in this episode for sure, this morning, but he said that, and my mind went, okay, well, I'll hurry and make this workaround, and then in the meantime, what I'll do is I will start coding this software, this website thing, just one part at a time to make sure everything works exactly the way it's supposed to. And we'll make that into a software website, whatever, so that I don't have to use Google Sheets for this, because this whole Google verification for making sure I'm not screwing people over with sensitive information, or I don't even know. It's just fucking annoying, and it's not working, and I'm so over it. And I also want to make software, so websites. So it's kind of a win-win for me. So 30 days, I can absolutely do that in 30 days. So that's where I'm at with that. I have not checked any kind of Reddit posts today. I'll probably do that when I get home because I got to upload the show anyway. So probably check that because I'm curious. Can't imagine there's anything because it's a Saturday. Can't imagine a lot of people are working on Saturday across the U.S. in the Department of Air Force. Could be wrong, but yeah, there's that. What else was I going to say? What else was I going to say? Still waiting on the email, obviously. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say, honestly. Let's see. Things are good, just chugging along. Oh, that was the other thing. So, Mimo, the app that I use for that I'm currently using to learn JavaScript and stuff like that, I think I'm supposed to finish the course today, but I'm still on whatever I'm on. I'm on 8. And I think what I need to do is stop making these arbitrary goals and getting excited. What I need to do is start making hourly goals. So rather than, okay, I'm going to get this whole thing done by this date, I'm going to start saying, I need to complete this, or I need to spend 2 hours today learning Nemo. And for those 2 hours, that's all I'm going to do, period, in a story. After those 2 hours are up, I don't have to do that anymore for the day. Because, for one, I think that would force me to get, however much progress I need to get done in those 2 hours. But it's also like, okay, I accomplished that. Once that's done for the day, I'm done. So if I started saying, rather than, okay, I'm going to do module 3, 4, 5 today, and then 6, 7, 8 tomorrow, then 9, 10, 11 the next day, so on and so forth, I think it would be better to just say, okay, 2 hours of coding, learning, and practice today, that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do that. And then whatever I get done, whatever I learn, whatever, I can rest assured knowing that I put in the time that I said I was going to, and we're all good. Same thing goes for working on projects, so, we got 2 hours of learning, and then maybe we got 4 hours of project work. Maybe that's split into 2 halves of 2 hours each, and then kind of just go from there. Maybe that's what I ought to do. Just put it into my calendar and just do it. Fuck, dude. So tired. This is ridiculous. So, I think that's all I want to say, honestly. So, yeah. I'm going to go home, upload the show, and do all that. So, anyway, guys, thanks for listening, supporting the show. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.